Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to continue the Parfumane review series. Now, in all honesty, yesterday I have just filmed another review for the brand for a fragrance from the family collection called Fruity Blend, and in that video I said something among the lines that I will continue reviewing fragrances that are more summer friendly, summer appropriate, and I will leave the heavier ones as you are approaching autumn, the autumn season, or like the colder months basically. So I was like, I cannot post that video and then come up and talk about this fragrance, which is definitely not for the summertime. So I was like, let me just film the video and maybe I will just post this one first and then I will come with the other video that I filmed yesterday. But basically, you guys, I started to test, to properly test the fragrances from the Dolmabahce Pallce collection. Today, I want to share my thoughts about a fragrance called Cevherbaha. It's a tongue twister for me, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering the names, but I don't speak Turkish. Like I told you, this is from the Dolmabahce Pallace collection. There are 4 fragrances in this collection, and this collection was created for the ladies. And I think when I will show the presentation, you will understand why. Now, before I start, if you haven't heard of Parfumane, or in case you haven't watched this video over here, I would highly encourage you to watch this video. Either not now, let's just say now you watch this video, but maybe after you watch this video, go and watch that video as well, where I talk about Sacred Palace, because in that video, in the beginning of the video, I go in depth about the brand, about the founder, about the concept, and I tell you there a lot more information. And like I've said in the video I filmed yesterday, I don't want to repeat myself, in every video, because it can get to be quite redundant, if you're watching every video from this series. But quickly to let you know, this is a brand from Turkey. This is a Turkish brand. The founder is also the nose behind all of the fragrances. His name is Bekir Kantarci. He's not only the nose behind these fragrances, but he's also a fragrance enthusiast. He has a beautiful and impressive antique fragrance bottle collection, and he displayed some of the fragrances from his collection in a concept store that's like a part of the Parfumane store, but also a part of like a museum, So yeah, beautiful concept behind, amazing brand. If you find yourself in Istanbul or in Turkey, I know for sure they have stores in Istanbul, but if you feel free to check it out, if you know you have any city breaks in Istanbul, or if you know you have any traveling plans to Turkey, it's so worth it to visit their store. Their stores are how to say, you guys, it's almost like they come from the past, in a sense. They are so beautiful. You can truly sense the history, and you can also sense the passion behind the brand. So yeah, now let's move back to Dolmabahce Palace collection. Now, like I said, this collection was created for the ladies, and this collection is inspired by, of course, the Dolmabahce Palace. And there are 4 fragrances in this collection. All 4 come in this beautiful bottle that hold on, I will show you in a second, but I just don't want to drop anything. All come in these types of bottles, these kind of bottles, but most likely I will insert a presentation where you can see how beautiful this comes packaged. Now, honestly, this feels like a true experience to unbox it. As you can see, if you open the fragrance, here you have the instructions as to how to use the fragrance and to how to attach the pump, because yes, it does come with a pump. Here you have a cardboard with some pieces of information about the collection. You have it written in English, and also you have the same pieces of information written in Turkish. And here is the beautiful fragrance, you guys. Oh my god, I could just spend so much time just looking at the fragrance, admiring the bottle, admiring its details. Look, I want to gently take it out, but you can see that this was created for the small hands of a woman. It fits perfectly into my hands. All come in 75 ml. Oh my god, but this is quite a lot of product. Why did I have the idea that they come in 35 ml? You have quite a lot of product here. Or a fragrance, not product. But you guys, this is so beautiful. I could just spend so much time just staring at the bottle. I will try to give you a close-up of the bottle. It's so beautiful, you guys. And I'm sure you can see it has some crystal details, some flower details. And also I feel la pièce de résistance, the cherry on top. It also comes with this type of vintage fragrance bottle pumps. I'm sorry, I don't know how they're called in English. Now, I haven't yet attached this fragrance, I haven't yet attached, you guys, I haven't yet attached the pump to the fragrance because I am planning to do this when the autumn season is approaching. But till then I just wear and test this fragrance. And I just take this part here off. It has a cap that's secures very well the fragrance. I just take it off, I dab it on my wrist, you know, and then I smell it, but I haven't yet attached the pump. They were also kind enough to send me some decants of the other 3 fragrances in this collection, and just to quickly mention them and show you how their decants come, let me just take them out of the plastic thing so that I don't make any sound, and then I will come back, okay? Now, in the same Dolmabahce Palace collection, you have a fragrance called Rah-i Așk, you have a fragrance called Meftun, and a fragrance called, look, here it's an A with a thing on top, so I'm guessing it's U, so I think it's called Lâlezar. I might completely butcher the name, but if I do, like I said, I'm sorry. But you also have these 3 fragrances. Now, I am not sure if they sell these types of travel sprays on their website yet. If they don't, I think it would be a very nice idea to add, especially not necessarily in store, but for their international website, you know, because I feel like people would have a chance to test a fragrance from the brand, and not only one, like they would have the chance to test different fragrances from various collections and see which one suits their taste and preferences the best. And when they decide, let's just say, to purchase the full bottle, they could just like use this one in their purse, just like top it up, and as this one starts to go down, you can just like take it out, unscrew. This one here unscrews actually. You could just like unscrew it, you see, and just like re-decant or like reapply fragrance in this decant and carry this one in your purse. So I think this would be a brilliant idea, and also, you guys, they are so beautiful. Again, I will insert a photo or a close-up with these decant bottles. But I love, you guys, I love the fact that, I don't know, they managed to make them look so luxurious and so elevated and so elegant. And I feel like they managed to, basically their style and their vibe is very like somehow minimalistic with a touch of something from the past, with something very artistic at the same time, but very elevated, very classy, very timeless, you know, it looks luxurious, just like all of them smell. So yeah. I feel like they managed to get that, or like to transfer this vibe, you know, this elegance, this classiness into their decants as well. And again, I don't know if they sell them, but if they don't, I think it would be a really nice touch to add to the website. Okay, now let's move back to Cevherbaha. You guys, this fragrance, this is such a beautiful fragrance. Look, to me, this is not just a fragrance that you wear to smell good. Like when I smell this fragrance, to me, it transports me through times, honestly, and it transports me. I will spray it, I will apply it on my skin in a second, but when I just smell it from here, even, to me, you know where it transports me? In Paris, in the 19th century, in like one of those like old school, like family-owned pastries, you know what I mean? It smells like like a pastry from back in the day. At least this is where it brings me. Now, when I smell this fragrance, where my mind takes me, it's like the middle of winter, somewhere in Paris or anywhere, but with like an old town center, you know, with like old buildings, you know, like I told you, in like the 19th century. And it's like I told you, it's like the middle of the winter, it's very cold outside, there's lots of snow, and you just enter one of these like really small but very beautiful and welcoming pastries. But like I told you, from back in the day, you know, because I'm imagining they would have some like wooden table, something wooden, because you get a soft woody like facet in the background, but you also have this like beautiful, to me they smell like ingredients you use to bake cookies, you use to bake different types of biscuits, different kinds of pastries. Honestly, it smells just like that. It's so beautiful. Now let me apply it on my skin and I will tell you how it smells like on my skin. This is so beautiful, so cozy, yet elevated somehow. It smells gourmand, but not gourmand in a sense that you smell like fruits or you smell like whipped cream or you smell like cacao. No, it to me smells gourmand in a sense that you walk into an old like vintage pastry, and as you walk in there, like I told you, it's very cold out on the outside because I'm imagining it's winter, you know, and you walk there and you are hit with the heat from the inside, you know, from the fire when they do all types of bakings, you know, and you walk in right as, let's just say, the baker or the chef there, or I don't know how it's called, he let's just say he's like cleaning, like he's cleaning his like cabinet where he keeps all his vanilla pods or his like aged natural vanilla essences, his almond essences, like he puts to like I'm imagining he put some like peeled mandarin oranges to scent the room. It's very hot in there, it's very warm, like you're hit with the heat, you know what I mean? It has this exact same feeling to me. It's like, I'm telling you, it just like, it feels like it transports me back in time in a sense. And I find this such a beautiful aspect about fragrances. Like, to me, like if you close your eyes and you try to imagine the smell of like a ultra ripe mandarin orange peel. So it's like sweet but citrusy, but like a sweet citrusy. Now imagine that with lots of warmth, lots of heat in the background. It's a small place, you know, it's like they use like stoves to warm them up, you know, they use like stoves to like prepare all the bakings and everything, to have lots of heat, lots of warmth. You have the smell of the orange, like mandarin orange peel, and then you get something, look, it's not listed, but to me it smells like a touch of almond essence that adds a slight nuttiness, a slight sweetness, and that like specific almondy smell with the mandarin orange peel. But then you start to get, this is my favorite part, you start to get beautiful, rich, decadent, full-bodied vanilla essence smell. Now, I love vanilla in my fragrances. I love vanilla mixed with spices. I love vanilla mixed with rose. I love vanilla mixed. I love vanilla mixed with fruits. I love vanilla mixed with everything. Vanilla is one of my favorite notes, but what I have started to appreciate even more is the more grown-up vanilla, you know, not the kind of vanilla that smells like a cookie type of vanilla, you know, that like eau de toilette with vanilla or like vanilla scented. I love, like I am in love with how vanilla pod smells like, and with a more, like I told you, like a more grown, a more decadent take on vanilla. And I feel like this is exactly what they did here. Basically, oh my god, like even when I smell my fingers, like when I move my fingers, I get the scent. What they did here, yes, what they did here, I had to pause, I had to take a break because I was like smelling this fragrance. What they did here, basically, like I told you, you have the citruses, you have that like soft, nutty, almondy facet, that like radiating heat, you know, it's like truly hot. This has lots of warmth to it. But they also, imagine like they place the vanilla smell on a bed of resins. So it does have some like resinous balsamic facets. But here is the key. I find it very hard when it's a fragrance made with vanilla and with resinous balsamic facets to blend them together in a sense that you create the smell of aged vanilla pod. You know, if you have ever smelled an aged vanilla pod, you know it's sweet, but it doesn't have that like light, bubbly, you know, kind of like happy, youthful smelling type of vanilla. It's a vanilla scent that smells, it has a natural funk to it, first of all, that comes from the aged factor, you know, it has a slight sweet, resinous, balsamic funk in a sense. Not by funk, I don't mean anything too challenging, but again, it's not like your cupcakey vanilla, you know what I mean? So I feel like what they managed to create here is to replicate the smell of a beautiful aged vanilla pod, or like aged, like imagine those like deep maroon, like brown vanilla essences, you know, this is how this fragrance smells like to me. And I feel like they dosed the resinous balsamic facet just enough to give support to the vanilla scent, to make it so rich and decadent, but not too much to the point where it smells like vanilla on one hand, and then like labdanum and like other resinous balsamic facets on the other hand, you know. I feel like they work together so well that it's almost like it's the smell of vanilla pod to me, you know. Yes, it's sweet, it definitely has gourmand facets to it, but like I said, not the fruity gourmand, not like a citrusy gourmand, not like a summer beverage, like an iced tea, like something like this, or like a fruity, dark fruity gourmand. To me, it smells like a pastry, like gourmand, but imagine not even like the finished product, like the biscuit that you eat, even though it does have some biscuity facets in the background. To me, it smells like the ingredients, you know, like the raw materials that you use to like prepare the pastries before, you know, like I told you, the vanilla essences, like the aged vanilla pods, that like sweet, rich, gooey somehow, not even, but like ultra dense smell of vanilla with something. It's very interesting because you have this really decadent vanilla facet here, but with something buttery smooth in the background. I'm guessing this might come from the sandalwood they used here. But it's not that like creamy lactonic sandalwood. To me, sandalwood in fragrances can go look, from what I have tested, of course, but it can go in like two main directions, I feel like. I feel like on one hand you have that like that really popular sandalwood that's like creamy, milky, you know, it has this like lactonic facets to it. And then on the other hand, especially in heavy, more oriental, like Middle Eastern leaning fragrances, you have that sandalwood that has this like slight warm, dusty, woody feel to it. Now the sandalwood here, or they used something here that adds a buttery smoothness to the fragrance, you know. This is why I say that to me it's a gourmand, but it's like a more decadent, elevated gourmand, you know. You don't smell like a straight up vanilla cookie from the supermarket, you know. Yeah. It smells so beautiful, so elevated, so present. It's a statement fragrance without being too challenging. It's a statement fragrance without being too artistic, too abstract, too obscure, to the point where only like, let's just say, a select handful of people could appreciate it. I think this is pretty much a very easy to enjoy fragrance. Of course, keep in mind if you love richer vanillas. Now, see here, the mandarin orange, I feel like it shines much more than it shines on my skin. But that mandarin orange smell fades away, I feel like, as you start to wear this fragrance and as this one starts to develop on your skin. The buttery smoothness, you still have it here. You still have that like aged vanilla, that like rich, bold, decadent, balsamic vanilla with the sweetness, but it's not like a thin, light, airy, breezy type of vanilla sweetness, that like artificial vanillin type of sweetness. It's quite a rich, robust and very dense type of vanilla sweetness, you know. This is why I say that it's a vanilla that sits on a bed of resins, but it's almost like they melted into one another to the point where now it smells like aged vanilla pot, you know what I mean? But even then, like if I were to compare this one with the smell of an actual aged vanilla pod, I feel like that actual aged vanilla pod, the funkiness is much more pronounced. Here you don't have that much funkiness, but you have a tinge of something balsamic, you know. But again, not balsamic in the sense that you have the vanilla and then you have the balsamic qualities. No, it's a vanilla with a balsamic undertone. So it's very rich and decadent. And I feel like I put emphasis on this because this is not something that you come across that often. At least that I haven't came across that often, you know. Look, this fragrance to me smells cozy, smells warm, it smells enveloping. This is why I say that to me, this fragrance, honestly, autumn and winter. I feel like in summer, of course, you could wear it all year round, you can do whatever you want with your fragrances, you know, but for me, like even when I smell this fragrance, you guys, it like I told you, it transports me to times that have passed in a sense, but during the winter, you know, like during the cold season, I feel like in the warm weather, to me, like the beauty of this fragrance, like the element of this fragrance that makes it shine the most, I feel like the high heat might kill a bit of that in a sense, you know. This is why to me this is like, I imagine like on a rainy autumn day, you know, you want like a pick-me-up to boost your mood, you want something that smells quite cozy, you know, that smells like a warm hug in a sense, you know, that smells like something that envelops you, you know, without being too youthful, without being too challenging, without being too mainstream. I feel like this is a beautiful one for those occasions. Or again, I'm imagining like when I smell this fragrance, like when it comes to me wearing it, I'm imagining with like a black turtleneck. I'm going for like a hot chocolate. It's like 5 p.m. It's already getting dark. Maybe it was a bit rainy that day, so it's kind of chilly. I'm taking an umbrella with me. I'm taking like a coat, you know, like a long coat. I told you, black turtlenecks, curls in my hair, like minimal makeup. And you're going to like a cozy going out date with your best friend, you know. This is the feel it gives me. So beautiful. Honestly, I cannot wait to wear it. I cannot wait for the autumn season to come. Even now, I feel like in September I can already start to wear it, especially on like September nights. Yeah. And now back to the dry down of the fragrance. I was getting a bit sidetracked. I was like letting my memory, like my imagination wander, you know. Now, as this fragrance starts to develop on the skin, I feel like that citrusy touch completely fades away. It starts to slowly fade away till it fades away completely, that like mandarin orange peel. The almond essence, or something that to my nose smelled like almond essence, I don't get it at all as this one starts to develop on the skin. Now, what this one is left with, or like what's left on my skin, is the smell of rich old vanilla essences with a touch of something woody in the background. But imagine like you open like a wooden cabinet or like cabinet, you know, in a pastry where they keep all their vanilla essences and their vanilla pods. So you get the smell of that rich, decadent, beautiful, sweet vanilla with a slight balsamic undertone, you know, with a slight aged vanilla essence type of facet, but you also get this soft woody hints from the wooden cupboard, I don't know, this is how it's called, like, I hope it is, but the wooden cabinet, you know. And again, I'm imagining it's like a very old wooden cabinet, you know, because the woody facet is quite present, but it's almost like it's something from that vanilla essence infiltrated into that woody facet, you know, because it's not just, how to say, this fragrance is not so easily to like deconstruct it, you know. It doesn't smell like random notes or like different notes stuck upon one another. It smells like an overall blended composition from which you can like take bits and pieces, you know, but it smells very blended. It smells like a overall standalone fragrance, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you have to appreciate sweet fragrances, you have to appreciate fragrances with a gourmand facet, you have to appreciate fragrances with a slight balsamic undertone, because if you don't, you might think this fragrance smells, now I don't want to say dated because it has nothing vintagey about it, but you might think that this fragrance smells, I don't know, that it is not for you. I do think you should have, like, look, this is not the kind of gourmand that teenagers would appreciate, or like really young people would appreciate overall. I feel like you need to have the nose for it, and I also feel like you need to have a bit of maturity when it comes to your taste. Also, I feel like if you're already experienced when it comes to the resinous balsamic fragrance category, this one you will not have any issues, you know, with it, because you will get more of the vanilla and less of the balsamic facets. But if you're not experienced with resinous balsamic facets, perhaps if you don't enjoy the smell of myrrh, if you don't enjoy the smell of like benzoin, labdanum, you know, like olibanum, these types of resins of balsams, then I'm thinking, I'm just guessing here, it's a blind guess, because I'm thinking you might get that balsamic facet more. Now, however, you guys, please test all the fragrances if you have the possibility. Do not blind buy. But I'm telling you, if you are a fragrance collector, if you love fragrances with a meaning to them, if you love fragrances with a story to them, I think you should test this fragrance. Like, get your nose on this fragrance. If you find samples online, if you find decants online, if they add travel sprays of their fragrances online, I would highly encourage you to test them. And you know what, I find something very interesting about this fragrance. To me, this fragrance feels like it radiates heat. It feels like legit, it radiates heat, it radiates warmth. It has something that's very warming up. This is why, like I told you, I'm imagining like it's really cold outside, you know, like -10 degrees, and then you go into, like, you're in the 19th century, you know, it's like -10, 15 degrees Celsius, and like you go into a pastry to grab a tea or something, to grab something from there, and as you walk in that pastry, you are hit with the heat from the pastry, you know, with the warmth from the ovens, you know, from everything. It's the smell of like wooden kitchen cabinets, I cannot pronounce that word in English, but I hope you get what I'm saying. And with all the ingredients, you know, all the essences, all the vanilla pods, and I'm imagining like either they are cooking something or like they're preparing something with like mandarin orange peel. Either they are using that mandarin orange peel to scent the room, because you do get this like mandarin orange peel, especially in the opening. Look, to me this is a fragrance that has a story behind, I don't know, but it has also something elevated about it, so I would feel the need to, you know, like put together and be very presentable. This is not the kind of fragrance that I would use for, you know, with like a sportswear, with like a pair of jeans and like a jacket, you know, with something more casual. To me, I don't know, but then again, this is just me. You can do whatever your heart wants with fragrances, you know. I would feel the need to dress up a bit to wear this fragrance, but it's so beautiful, you guys. If you see me looking here, it's because I have the fragrance here. Yeah, let me put it here. Okay, what else? Yeah, this is pretty much everything I wanted to say about this fragrance. To me, yes, it does lean very feminine. However, if you're a man and you love the scent, you do you. I always say you do whatever you enjoy. But I would recommend this fragrance more to women, because I know women would enjoy this fragrance much more than the majority of men. Now, yes, what to tell you guys? I cannot wait, honestly, for the autumn season to come, and then I can put the pump and just like, you know, spray the fragrance. Oh my God, I feel like it's such a ritual, you know. Yeah. yeah, to me it's like a whole mood, like a whole ritual to apply this fragrance, you know. Now, when it comes to, and sorry for the noise, when it comes to these other 3 fragrances, I'm thinking to do a separate video for all of these 3, you know. Which one? Was this one Lâlezar? No, I don't think it was this one. Was it this one? One of them from here reminds me of... oh, this one is very unique. I don't know what the notes listed are for this one, but this one smells very unique. This one, Meftun. This one, Rah-i Așk. Look, was it this one or the other one? No, it's this one, Lâlezar. If I'm butchering the name now, I'm fully butchering it. Lâlezar, I think. Lâlezar, something like this. This to me, you know what it smells like? It smells like a mixture of Oud Amazing from Montal with La Vie est Belle by Lancôme. Look, I think if you have a person in your life, like a very dear person in your life, and she really loves La Vie est Belle, if you are planning again to travel to Turkey, or maybe her birthday is coming up, or maybe somewhat of a special occasion and you would like to gift her with a very special fragrance, I would really encourage you to buy this one, but not Cevherbaha by Lâlezar, but in the same bottle. They all come in the same presentation, you know. I'm sure you will surprise that person, and I'm telling you guys, I feel like as a woman, you know, like women are drawn to beautiful things, you know, women are drawn to shiny things, to beautiful things, to feminine things. At least I'm very drawn to these kind of bottles, and when I look at something like this, like it's so cute, but it's so timeless. I feel like it's a piece of art in a sense, you know. It's not just a fragrance bottle, you know. It's not just like one of those fragrance bottles that you like throw in your purse. You don't matter if it gets scratched, you know. I feel like with this one you kind of want to put it in a nice secure place, you know. You like want to kind of like make a ritual when you're using it, you know. But yeah, what I wanted to say, if you have someone dear in your life and you know that person loves La Vie est Belle, I think they would love this fragrance, and it would be such a beautiful surprise. I'm telling you, that person would be so happy. By the way, I haven't mentioned the performance on this fragrance. Look, more than 6 hours on your skin. It's the kind of fragrance that, look, I don't know, I can't say that it's very, very oily, but for whatever reason, it sticks very well to your skin. I'm guessing it's because of the balsamic facets they used here, because these deeper, denser, richer notes usually stick very well to skin. Again, I haven't sprayed it on my hair or on my clothes or in my hair, so I will have to update you, but this I will do once the colder season is approaching. But performance is not an issue with this fragrance. Again, this is the kind of fragrance that I would do, honestly, 7 sprays maximum, because I feel like if you do too much, you take it from that like classy, artistic experience type of fragrance, you can make it go very not elegant, you know what I mean? If you overdo this fragrance. To me, the beauty of this fragrance is when you do, let's just say seven sprays, but then do like at least 2 in your hair, because you know, like when you're moving your hair, like people around you will get like beautiful whiffs of the fragrance. But the beauty and the classy element, or like the classy aspect of this fragrance to me, is when you do less with it, and it's almost like people are drawn in because they want to smell it on you, so they're like almost like they come closer and closer to you just to be able to smell it on you, you know. Also, if you have tried any fragrances from Parfumane, I would love to hear your feedback on the fragrances. Let me know what you think of them. Let me know if any fragrances caught your eye. I'm thinking to continue. I have one review for the fruity blend. Then I'm thinking to continue with the Eau de Cologne bottles. I will insert here a picture from Parfumane. I have one in a scent musk. That again, that I feel like is a whole different vibe. That one to me, like especially in the scent musk, it's like you are wearing, like you just like freshly stepped out of the shower, you know, you're like doing your nighttime skincare routine, you know, you're like applying like a fresh set of like satin pajamas, and then you're just like doing a bit of like, you're applying a bit of that fragrance, you know, before you go to sleep. That's like a whole different vibe. This one is going out. That one to me is more like staying in, but again, for my liking. So yes, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I don't want to make this video any longer. I feel like when it comes to fragrances that have a bit more of creativity behind them, or when it comes to fragrances that like I resonate, it's almost like I understand them on like a personal level, to a sense, you know, where it's almost like they speak to me. I could talk about them for hours, so I don't want to make this video very long. Thank you so much for watching. I will leave all the information about Parfumane, their website, their Instagram page in the description box. If you want to tell me anything, please leave a comment down below and I promise that I will get back to you. Also, yes, follow me on Instagram if you want. Here is my handle, and I will see you in my next video. But until then, thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye.